That's
Oh, hell no! Whoa!
Hello, you beautiful bonsai build butt plug brothers, because are having an amazing day today, and welcome back to another cursed, awful Call of Duty Zombies tier list. Hope that this video does find you well. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at every single Call of Duty Zombies map developed by Treyarch and seeing how they stack up is best for committing tax evasion if the IRS could come steal taxes from you mid-round like a hellhound stealing your asshole.
I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS? No, thank you.
The IRS, like the Pentagon thief, when it comes to tickle your booty hole and find out what you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with that big meaty tongue he's got on. Low-key wish you went back to the times before taxes, if there ever was any. Should be like a Minecraft 2B2T anarchy. That would be absolutely beautiful. We don't need the children's hospitals, do we? I think not. But yeah, we're going to be figuring out which map is the best for tax evasion. The time comes where this needs to happen. Now, first we got Nuketown, which is an abandoned butt-fuck balloon hut in the middle of ass crack nowhere. So it's just a World War I bunker. I don't think many IRS patients are going to be looking around, scouting those areas. It's not a very high prop. It's not exactly, you know, the first thing that comes to mind. It's kind of in the middle of butt-ass shit nowhere, and nobody's going to think to look there. So low-key, honestly, guys, I think Nuketown is going to become become CV Wonder. Oh, that's right. We have to look. I haven't been to tiers in like months. For the tiers, we got instant prison penis punishment. You're going to be instantly caught by the IRS, and they're going to torture any info about you or anyone else that is evading taxes through your cockle with a drill. Then you have capital crack attack, which pretty much means the IRS is going to throw their booty cheeks back on you almost immediately. Then you have 1 to 2 days before you get caught, also known as BBC Bubble, because when you get caught, you are going to jail, and BBC Bubble is going to Batista butt bomb your ass crack into infinity, and it's just not going to feel good unless you like that kind of thing, in which case that's absolutely awesome. And at the top tier that we got 4 to 7 days before brutality. You know, you'll be able to hold out a little bit longer on these maps because, you know, maybe they're a little bit more tucked away than certain maps, but they're definitely not going to be anything crazy. And you have IRS becomes Stevie Wonder 101. They're pretty much not going to be able to find you there, but there's still a chance maybe one day, if the technology advances, they're going to be able to see you, just like you'll be able to see you one day. Activity top of the spectrum, like myself, we got IRS becomes my dad. They never find you, which obviously just means that you are free, you are safe. The IRS is never going to be able to locate. I think it's safe to put IRS and IRS becomes Stevie Wonder because I don't think any of them are going to be looking at a fucking bunker unless they maybe knew you already. But Rock, on the other hand, is kind of a shittier location to hide from your taxes because, I mean, if you're institutionalized and you're just not paying taxes because you got butt-fucked institutionalized, maybe your family forgot to do it for you, whatever, you're just gonna be fucked, and they're pretty much going to have instant access to all of your records, your mental history, and you're pretty much going to be caught immediately, and your penis is getting drilled by Gilbert Gottfried's fucking a Dunkaroo 6. So honestly, Rock is going to be our first bottom tier map. Get shit on for it. Listen, I love Rock. I'm a kind of a Rock guy myself, and honestly, I might belong there, but it's fine. Next, we got Shino Newman. I mean, Czech Swamp seems to be a pretty decent place to hide everything, including your penis, so I'm not going to say that Shino Numa doesn't deserve to go pretty high on this list. I mean, if they really wanted to, I feel like they could dress for it, and the IRS would be absolutely in your asshole, growing their eyes wide like Mr. Krabs, scouting the area like Lee Harvey before he took the shot. And I honestly got to say that I think Shino Numa is like a 4 to 7 days, because I honestly feel like they could locate you if they really tried and locked in, and it would just be GG's for you there, because you're not exactly given too many places to hide. And unless you like go prone in the water and try not to drown, maybe you become with the deep and you get gills, or most likely they find you and you become deep in legal shit and they throw you into the bin and BBC Bubble drills you. Now, Daryl Reese, on the other hand, is actually going to go pretty high simply because teleporters. I mean, if you fucking YOLO hit the buzzer of the teleporter, you teleport away, you're trying to get the high round in Family Feud.
Thought about killing myself.
You're getting the fuck out of there like Daddy-O, and just like Daddy-O ain't never coming back, you're going to be gone forever, and there ain't going to be any single bastard on Earth that can catch you. Not even Sonic the Hedgehog or Lightning McQueen's asshole is going to be able to keep up with you if you're quite literally decombusting and teleporting and reanimating into a completely different location every single time, especially if you were to, like, fuck the teleporters and maybe have a So honestly, Therese, hey, first top tier. Good job, Therese. You finally made it to a top tier on one of these stupid goofy lists. I find usually it's not up there. Usually it's more towards the mid zone. Now, King of Toten, low-key chat, I don't think that a movie theater is a good place to hide to evade taxes. I'm going to be honest, the first to say it, unless you're like maybe looking, unless you're sitting at the new Captain America movie, because ain't nobody ever going to be looking in there because how shit it is. I think people would rather look underneath the floorboards and watch paint dry with a huff meth than ever go see that thing. So potentially if you're seeing an intentionally dead movie to increase your chance of being hidden for longer, I think Kino could work well. But since this theater probably doesn't pay the absolute worst shit films of all time, from Morbius to Captain America to the fucking 2020 Cats musical that made me despise cats and contemplate bleaching my eyes and my anus, I don't think Kino del Toro would exactly make a good place to hide from the IRS. I think they're going to be catching you with a net like SpongeBob and Jellyfish for you, and you're going to be absolutely blasted and out of luck and out of time. GG's. 1 to 2 days max before BBC Bubba, especially if you get the cops calling on you because you're like hiding in the bathroom taking a shit or something forever. Like, they'll catch on to you pretty soon and you're gonna be kicked out of there. It's fucking good night for Bonzo. Now, the Pentagon might be the worst spot on the motherfucking planet to hide to pay your taxes. Like, you can be chat, there ain't no damn well you're gonna be able to hide from nothing, bro. You can't even hide from Barack Obama's shadow or the Thirst family's fist of fury going up your ass like Nikolai wielding the thunder gun. It is just actually GG's for you. The worst map in all of history to avoid the IRS is 5 because they probably are right.
2,000 years later.
Essentially, it's a pretty peculiar case as well because, I mean, you have the lunar landers, so you can kind of just fly on by like a space shuttle like you're Elon Musk without the autism, or double it if you're me. And I think it would actually be a pretty decent spot, especially if they don't know how the lunar landers work, because let's be honest, if we're in the game and the IRS is so well, they probably never played motherfucking zombies in their life because they are not awesome alpha gamers. They are weak beta bitches. I think Essential would be 4 to 7 days before Booty Hole Brutality, right above Shino Numa, because Shino Numa, you know, maybe you can hide in the water, maybe you can hide in like the bushes or whatever, and eventually they'll find you. But I feel like Ascension, you know, the lunar landers would run out of fuel, and then you'd eventually be forced to land, and they'd catch you and probably beat you to death because they're probably fed up with your shit, giving you the good old R. Kelly capital punishment treatment, which is, I love it, I love it. And next up, we got Call of the Dead. Everybody now listen, Call of the Dead is one of the greatest maps of all time in my opinion, but would it be good to hide from the IRS? I don't really know if it would be, honestly, because I mean, it is a pretty big map and the fog might help you stay hidden a little bit, but eventually, like my will to live, the fog will die and it'll be GG's for you, and the IRS will catch you with an ass, especially if you got George Romero all pretty much domed in on you all the time, yelling at you, calling you fucking slurs, and beating you half death with his beautiful big dick stick of truth, also known as his big meaty dick of justice. It's going to be GG's for you almost instantaneously. So honestly, Call of the Dead is like Capital Crack Attack. I don't think it's going to be as bad as 5 ever looked, because they won't have people that literally know everything about you, but you're not going to last long, much like me in the bedroom. 4 pumps, that's it, bro. I got the Olympia worth of stamina in me. Next up, Shangri-La. Shangri-La is like in the middle of piss poor ass crack attack nowhere. I don't even think you'd be able to find Shangri-La unless you randomly got teleported there like the Ultimates crew did, and I kind of feel like the IRS would have no idea where to even start looking in terms of this map. So I feel like Shangri-La actually does get to go pretty high here. I don't think the IRS would ever even be able to geolocate you unless they had Google Maps attached to a chip inside of your ass crack, like the Severance chip. I don't really think, honestly, Shangri-La is going to go above Doris, because even if they find you in Doris, maybe the teleporter would die eventually, that maybe it will teleport you into them and it would bug out at some point. I feel like Doris is a pretty safe spot, but I feel like Shangri-La is like 100% money back guaranteed, like Mr. Krabs' fat ass, they're never finding you. You're going to be safe for the rest of your life. Ain't no way you're ever paying a single dime to those motherfuckers. Now, Moon also is going into top tier, but I don't know if it should go above Shangri-La, because let's say they catch on to you while you're in the Moon. Eventually, if you don't want to suffocate or fucking die of actual boredom in outer space, being in the middle of butt-ass nowhere, you're gonna need to return to Earth. So if they're actively aware of you trying to get tax fraud and they know you're out of orbit right now, Moon might not actually be the best place ever, because at least they know where you are, and if they really wanted to, they could send an Elon Musk autistic space shuttle up at you to eat your ass and get your ass back down there and put your ass in the good old timeout, also known as Federal Penitentiary. Mob of the Dead's ass crack is calling. I don't want to go to Mob of the Dead because I know Brutus is going to pound me into a goddamn meat and potato salad and eat my asshole like Popeye eats spinach, okay, brothers? So Moon is going to go right behind Shangri-La, sandwich in between Doris and Shang like a beautiful Oreo cookie. Transit, listen, Transit is pretty much just a town. If they got Ted programmed to locate you on the bus to whoop your ass with his robo bitch assery, I don't think it would end too well for you, if I gotta be honest with you guys. I think Transit, you know, it is pretty big and it's literally just a town, and I feel like there's a lot of people that live in just towns that are getting caught and whooped by the IRS, like Wario farting all over the fucking place. So I gotta be honest, I think for Transit it is GG's. It's not gonna be instant. I give you a 1 to 2 days with how big big it is, they're gonna catch you, and you can't even hide in the theater or the bathroom like Kino. So I think it's actually going to be below Kino, especially if there's no fog, and they could probably locate you pretty fucking fast. So yeah, honestly, transit, you're going there, my G. Town zombies, I mean, the town got fucking whooped like Japan did, so I honestly think it might be a decent spot. I wouldn't really think the IR, as long as you get a hazmat suit and you don't turn into a fucking super ghoul mutant from Fallout 4 with 5 nipples and 5 wieners on top of your forehead, like the ultimate nipple hat, I think Nuketown could be a pretty viable spot to avoid those pesky little tax dollars. I think I'm gonna put it right above Nocturne Totem. But if they really wanted to catch you and they had hazmat suits, I feel like they could, so it's not exactly top tier. I don't even know if, I mean, Dire's place takes place in China. I don't really know anything about China except I have a lot of people there. I'm assuming they have to pay taxes, and with how overpopulated it is and how strict Chinese rules are, I feel like they'd catch you in 0.5 seconds. Even if you thought for half a second about not paying taxes, Jean Gina with this ice cream cone would give you a brain freeze with a bullet, so I honestly think it's bottom tier, probably worse than 5 on. Now, I mean, Mob of the Dead is where you go to get caught, so you've already but fucking failed if you're on Mob of the Dead. You've done something wrong, you fucked up, so there's not really a point, and you probably don't even have to pay anymore if you're already in jail. I don't really know how that works because I have a 1 neuron crack attack, but honestly, I think Mob of the Dead is going to go right in front of Die Rise. Now, Buried is actually top tier. I'm going to put Buried like right below above Shangri-La because Shangri-La is in the middle of butt-ass to nowhere. Buried is in the middle of shit stain nowhere. Bro's actually the middle of the wilderness. It's a town buried underground, like a Minecraft mine shaft build. So honestly, I feel like it has to be top tier because not only is it located whoever the hell knows where, but fuck, I think it wasn't in like Africa, but it's also probably like 300 feet underground, so they're gonna have to bring some beautiful pickaxes or find the beautiful glory hole that we all jumped down to get there if they ever want to find you. So Baird is definitely peak, bro. Origins, well, I mean, Origins, if you hit in the robot or the crazy place and just hog the gramophone with you, maybe you could have a chance or something, but I honestly feel like eventually in Origins you'll get caught because there's not exactly too many places you could go to hide that come to mind unless you maybe did an out of bounds glitch like a complete weak bitch. I honestly think Origins is capital crack attack, just like Call of the Dead. There's not many like crevices to hide in on Origins, especially if the IRS like discovers the Panzer Soda technologies and fries your butt cheeks and turns you into the ultimate Oreo cookie s'more snack. You're just fucked, my dude. Yours is absolutely cooked. Shadows of Evil is, I mean, it's a big map, and there's a whole lot of different spaces you can hide. You got the underground area, you got the ritual rooms, and if they don't know how to open, good luck finding you. You could just go beast mode over and over again. I think Shadows is going to go right above Shangri-La, honestly. I think Shadows could actually be a top contender for the #1 spot if those two just weren't so beautiful, because Shadows of Evil is so massive in size, you're pretty much going to have an infinite amount of areas to just tuck yourself away to not get caught, and I honestly believe that Shadows is beautiful for avoiding taxes. But next up we got the Horizon Drop, and it's kind of like Origins. There's not too many places for you to hide, but especially if they find Panzer technology, it's just GG. They're going to be clapping your ass cheeks in 2 different places at once. But at least there's the Wonder Sphere, so if you need to take a quick getaway, you can just fucking send yourself the heck to Nuga and risk a concussion on both of your heads from the landing. You might crash like the Hindenburg, but if you land on 2 feet like the ultimate pussycat, you're going to be alright. Honestly, I think it's like 4 to 7 days right above Ascension. I can't see the Horizon Drop being too great. Now, Zetsubo no Shima is actually going to go right above Nuketown because this is on a random goofy ass island, and I honestly feel like you would have they'd have that quite a difficult time just finding you and where you are, and I think you would actually be able to maintain your distance from the IRS very, very steadily and very, very good. I don't really think they'd be able to find you unless they had like a goddamn fishery officer blasting your ass on scout for you, unless you're like the Jeffrey Dahmer of tax evasions. I don't think they'd give a shit enough to actually come find you, you know, but you never know. You never know. Or Krovi is also going to go right behind Zetsubo. The only reason it's not going to go above it is because Zetsubo's on a random fucking remote island in the middle of Timbuktu's ass crack, and Gold Krovi's just Stalingrad, but there's dragons there. And I honestly feel like, let's say they didn't know the layout of the map, they might have had to get there, so you go to pack a bunch and fly around, they're gonna be absolutely beautiful. But there's also a chance, right, that they just might not know there's dragons and get burned alive. Maybe you can fuck the dragon like Donkey from Shrek, and maybe you make the dragon your wife, and maybe you have a life together before the IRS takes you away. But if you build that strong bondage level bond, they ain't ever taking you away. You could just take off on your dragon wife and have drag ghosty for the rest of your life, also known as Shrek lore. Beautiful. Revelations is fucked. Like, how would they even get there, dude? You have to go to like Dr. Muddy's butthole and take like a Mario warp pipe to get to Revelations. I don't even know where Revelations takes place. I don't know what the fuck this map is. This is like hentai apothecary bullshit sex hellraiser shit. It's something on a whole nother level that I don't even know how to begin to describe Revelations. I'm just gonna put it, I'm gonna put #1 because I think it's an alternate dimension, and like if I have an alternate dimension, I are you really gonna give a shit enough about the $5 Big Mac I didn't pay taxes on that one time? Are you really gonna fucking care? If you do, I hope you end up like, I'm just saying. Next thing you got Blood of the Dead. Pretty poo-poo stinky map, and also for this list because once again it's like a pocket dimension prison, and I feel like once they caught you you would already be there, and it's like yada yada yada. I'll put it right above below mob, just like where it should go on a regular tier list. Classified, I mean it's literally the Pentagon again, but there's extra rooms. I'll put it right above 5. That way maybe you can get jerked off by JFK in an additional room or 2. Voyage of Despair, I mean, listen, I feel like that's a pretty, like, important boat. You're on the Titanic. If they get data on you that you've evaded taxes, they'll probably, you know, let everybody else chill for a little while. But after that cruise is done, it is just GG's for you, my friends. 1 to 2 days. I actually don't know how long cruises last. I'll just do 4 to 7 days. I know I've never been on a cruise. That's shocker. 9. I feel like 9 would be a pretty decent map to commit. Like, let's say you time traveled back and they're like fucking Ghostbusters styling on your ass, time traveling away to you as well to catch you. I don't really think they'd want to step foot in a gladiatorial arena just to have you pay your damn taxes. So low-key, it's gonna go above Zetsubo, because even if they find you, if you're in the middle of the round-based tomfoolery happen, yeah, I just don't think they're really gonna fucking care. Now, Dead of the Night as well. I mean, Dead of the Night is low-key bottom tier, like the worst map, because if you are like a rich man who has like the biggest house around, they know exactly where you are, where you're going to be, and they're just gonna clap your ass immediately. BBC Bubba is going to have his fucking way with you, and once you learn to love it, prison will be swell as hell. But before you hit that point, it just might be GG's for your colon, and every single time you need to shit, it's just gonna slide out of you like a water park. Avoiding taxes in the Temple of Apollo goes incredibly hard, right behind 9. Now Alpha Omega is like Nuketown before the nuke, so I think it low-key is just a town, so I think it's kind of, you know, makes sense to rate it as transit. But Transit's low-key better than Alpha Omega. I would rather play Transit than Alpha Omega. This is not a joke. Transit is goofy bad. Alpha Omega is hell on earth bad. Factor Totem, though, I mean, it is. I mean, George wouldn't be screaming his lungs out at you to give your position away like somebody on the enemy team just fucking raging in chat. But it also isn't the greatest things ever. Maybe if you had to lift up the Pablo on top of the lighthouse, you could help you out, and maybe you could hide there for a good couple of days. But I feel like eventually they would find you and just be fun, because there's not exactly too many little tiny buttholes for you to crawl into like Johnny Sins on this map to hide in. So honestly, 1 to 2 days right in front of Alpha Omega, I feel like. Plus maybe they'd give up a little faster because it's colder on Tog. Yeah, I'll put it right in front of Transit, actually. D-Machine. D-Machine's like a pretty secure facility. I don't really think they'd be rushing back to get you here. I don't think they would really want to risk all of this shit happening. So honestly, I feel like D-Machine would be pretty chill for this, which is rare because usually D-Machine ranks under my boot. Oh, it's right here. You know what? I'm gonna put it right behind Nox. Firebase Z is a little less out of the way, and I low-key it is in mid, and I think it's mid for this too. There's teleporters, and there's a lot of cameras on the map, like Rav when I was playing FNAF at the spawn room, doing the absolute, definitely beating his cock to Toy Chico like we all did back in the day. I think I'll do it 1 to 2 days. Howdy Toten, however, is, you know, it's dark as shit. There's a bunch of crazy shit going on with the disciples. It's a mad fucking... It's a riot going on in this map. Like, that is pretty much the most painful thing you'd experience on this map. I feel like Klaus would just butt fuck with his butt plug finger the IRS away like the ultimate enema. He would just finger bang them away and turn them into bloody mud puddles. Absolute wild work. Mauer's going right above the roof just because Klaus, I feel like if you met him before the IRS said, you could tell them that they're all bad guys and he'd believe you, and they have no idea that you're just low-key chilling to try to not pay that fucking $5 on the $5 footlong. Next up, we got, oh wait, Outbreak. Like, I mean, Cold War Outbreak is pretty much just a giant map, and I feel like if they had cars and you didn't, it'd be GG's. There's not too many places. There's a lot of places to hide, but I feel like eventually they would catch you as well. I'm gonna put it right behind Voyage. I'm counting Town, Bus Depot, and Farm as just transit, by the way. Forsaken, I mean, if you go to the boss fight, I feel like every IRS member will just fucking die, and the Forsaken will just eat everybody's simultaneous asshole, and it would be quite an interesting experience. Of Kino. Now we're at Liberty Balls. I mean, Liberty Balls is a town, unless maybe you romanticize Blanchard and had his booty cheeks in your face like the Mario 64 Thwomp crushing Mario style. He would keep you safe from the IRS, but I also feel like he would be the one to lock you in, and unfortunately it wouldn't be for kinky bondage. You'd just be getting your booty hole drilled in the shower 5 hours later, 4 to 7 days, depending on maybe if you hide in the ground ski. Book smart, street smart. Blanchard broke my heart because he kissed Rick Toffin. Bullshit. Terminus Island, however, is kind of like Zetsubo, but Loki would look better because there's all the crazy experiences going. Maybe Patient 13 would buttfuck somebody for you in case the IRS showed up, they would obviously, they'd be able to find you, but it wouldn't be too fast. I'm gonna put it right above that, but it also is a little bit bigger, so you'd have more area to hide. Maybe you could sick patient 13's tentacle hentai ass on him to butt plug him, but you never know. Citadel Day More, there's no picture on the tier list, but honestly, Citadel Day More, I feel like it wouldn't be too bad. Like, I think they could find you pretty easily if they went to the town. I would put probably right behind Liberty Falls, and the tomb is in the middle of ass crack fuck nowhere, so I think you'd kind of have to have like knowledge to find that location, so I think that would be pretty well hidden. I think it would become, I would put it right behind the Ancient Evil, the tomb. And for the mansion map literally quite takes place in Liberty Falls, and it's just a giant building, and it's low-key Dead of the Night 2.0, even though we haven't played it yet. So I would put the mansion right in front of Dead of the Night, just because we don't even know what it looks like yet, so the IRS don't even, you know what I'm saying? Holy shit. Well, this has been which Call of Duty Zombies map is best to avoid taxes on. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Remember to leave a comment, subscribe if you did enjoy the video, and I hope to catch all of you guys in the next video. Remember to stay safe, stay hydrated, legend. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Remember to Dunkaroo dip Blanchard's BBC on your balls, boys. His big Blanchard clitoris. Are you?